Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm going to read you. I'm going to read you a piece I recently published in the Free Toaster newsletter. It's called "The AI Finfluencers Are Coming: The Next Billion-Dollar Distribution Channel for Lenders." So I'm just going to basically start off by reading the piece, and I'll give some color commentary at the end. I'm just going to do a quick plug for our sponsors. So Fintel Connect, an affiliate marketing platform. You can view them or think of them as an alternative to CJ, Impact, Rakuten. They help publishers, lenders connect with each other, and they have a really nice solution for compliance if that's something you've been struggling with. The next is Spinwheel. They have a collection of debt APIs that help lenders, but the three that I hear most about, one is their pre-fill API. So with just phone number and date of birth, lenders can grab name, address, email, all the information consumers usually need to fill out application forms. So that makes things quick and easy. They have a token that they've installed in certain publishers that actually passes all that PII securely from publisher to lender through a UTM parameter. And then they have a debt payoff API, which I've seen personal loan lenders use to route payments. Usually these are used in a debt consolidation context. Next is CTB1. So this is Connie Bueller and Cami Little. They have an executive search recruiting firm that specializes in fintech, credit marketing. They've been in the space for a very long time, super well connected. So if you're hiring for a role and haven't spoken with them, check them out, CTB1. Fiat Growth, they do tons of work in performance channels, paid search, paid social, affiliate marketing, and they work with a ton of fintechs. And then lastly, our newsletter, The Free Toaster. Check it out, thefreetoaster.com. Sign up for a newsletter. You'll get a weekly news rundown, and then you'll get editorial pieces once or twice a month. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let's jump right into the piece. If you want to look into marketing geek anxiety, go grab a coffee with a fintech lending CMO and ask about their distribution channels. Listen long enough, and many will quietly admit their growth is closely tied to the affiliate marketplace category. They mean sites like Credit Karma, Experian, NerdWallet, Bankrate, and many others. These channels have been great for growth, but concentration has been an unintended side effect. Our informal conversations with U.S. fintech lenders suggest that anywhere from 30 to 70% of their new customer volume comes from affiliate marketplaces, with the remainder coming through direct mail, paid search, paid social, and some first-party channels. The global affiliate marketing industry, this is all categories, not just lending, is expected to reach 18 in 2025, while global affiliate revenues are set to hit nearly $32 billion by 2031. The U.S. market, specifically for consumer lending, we estimate brands spend $4 to $6 billion per year on affiliate marketing. As the category grows, lenders are left hoping they remain in good standing as marketplaces tinker with rankings, increase product and competitive density, and perfect their algorithms. In parallel, lender innovation is accelerating. Take Yendo's vehicle-secured credit card, which lets subprime consumers unlock up to $10,000 in credit by backing the card with an auto title. Or consider the upcoming Coinbase One credit card, which plans to pay a full 4% on every purchase for consumers that hold enough assets in their Coinbase accounts. Product innovation will lead to more competition, and more competition will put increasing pressure on consumer lending brands to find new and growing sources of customer acquisition. The setup: Finfluencers are under-monetizing. The global creator economy, spanning from YouTube to TikTok, has minted its own crop of what I'm calling Finfluencers, who have established a level of trust with their audiences that lenders would kill for. In 2024, the influencer marketing industry hit an estimated $24 billion, almost doubling since 2019. Influencers over-index on audience trust and engagement, and yet only about 13% of them, and this is across all categories, not just consumer lending, earn more than $100,000 per year in 2023. So again, only 13% of creators are earning more than $100K, and that was in 2023. With more than 400,000 followers and posts that average 100,000 views, and this is hard, I only have a handful of posts that have gotten there on LinkedIn, and apparently this guy's doing it regularly. Clint Brantley is a big creator, but he only made $58,000 in 2023. That's less than the U.S. median pay for full-time workers. And now huge financial creators like Vivian Tu, she's also known as your Rich BFF, had an audience of over 5 million viewers in 2022 and pulled in over $3 million in revenue that year. By the way, she only paid herself $300,000. And based on the source, it's not clear if she reinvested the rest of that revenue or if the rest of that was costs. But anyways, those were her numbers. 3 million top line. Influencers have mastered getting attention, but are still in the infancy of monetization. Social platforms own the rails, fintechs own the product, and creators are monetizing with one-off sponsorships or course sales rather than ongoing affiliate partnerships that pay them a percentage of the value they create for brands. That I would argue is going to be the most efficient way to do it. So how much money could Vivian Tu, aka your Rich BFF, be making? So let's study that case. Vivian made $3 million in top line in 2022 from her 5 million audience. That's 60 cents per audience member per year. To make this analysis simple, we'll look at Credit Karma and NerdWallet, two publishers who report their revenues and audience sizes publicly. Credit Karma made $1.6 billion in revenue in fiscal 2023. Their fiscal runs from August to August, with a member base of 130 million. That's $12.31 per audience member per year, which is 20 times better monetization than Vivian. NerdWallet made nearly 600 million in revenue in fiscal 2023. With an average of 24 million monthly unique users, MUUs. That's $25 per MUU. And this is difficult to compare to Vivian's performance, since we only know her total audience and not her MUUs. If Vivian monetized at Karma's $12.31 per audience member per year rate, she would have pulled in $61.5 million in revenue in what's probably a 2 or 3 person operation. That would make her a little richer. And to make it crazier, I can think of reasons why Vivian's monetization could be better than Karma's, with the right infrastructure beside her. But that's a rabbit hole for another day. What I want you to take away is that even the best Finfluencers are severely underpaid when you compare them to best-in-class monetization benchmarks in the traditional financial media space. Lenders will continue to funnel advertising dollars to Finfluencers. Consumer demand for trusted, direct financial advice keeps climbing, and the influencer channel is producing strong returns for the brands already investing. Well, how do we know that? Businesses see an average of $6.50 in revenue for every $1 spent on influencer marketing, highlighting the yield influencers can drive as performance marketers. The data above isn't specific to the lending industry, but our analysis above showing how Finfluencers like Vivian Tu are severely under-monetizing relative to traditional publishers help paint the picture that 2025 Finfluencer media could be an exceptionally good deal for lenders. The rise of the digital twin. A technological wave is forming that will drag both lenders and creators, willing or not, into the future. The global AI chatbot market is exploding, growing from under $14 billion in 2025 to a projected $46 to $47 billion by 2029. In financial services alone, AI-powered agents are expected to save the industry $80 billion in customer service costs by 2026, with chatbots automating between 30% and 80% of the interactions, depending on the institution. But it's not just big orgs that will benefit from this tech. What's coming is that any Finfluencer can deploy a digital twin at unlimited scale. These twins, quote unquote, will be 24/7 personal finance assistants that can answer questions in the creator's voice, recommend products from a curated affiliate catalog, and provide compliant, personalized advice. And these twins won't just be chatbots. They'll be voice agents you can call and video agents you can chat with on Zoom. They'll have the voice, image, and likeness of the creator. It's going to be wild. Imagine a creator with 250,000 followers who's never been able to scale one-on-one advice, suddenly mobilizing an army of these twins that matches individual audience members with lending products, explains APRs, terms, fees, and handles application handoffs with bank-approved compliance and reporting built in. It's something like that would get Vivian to her $61.5 million in revenue per year. And in practice, it could be even more because she'd have more resources to reinvest in content, distribution, and technology. The skeptics may be losing sight of consumer behavior. When I chat informally with friends in the industry, I hear things that sound like lenders will never delegate distribution to creators and AI. Creators won't trust bots to speak for them. No one really wants advice from an AI, right? But the facts are telling another story. Lenders are actively exploring how to diversify customer acquisition. The white space for new origination channels, especially B2B and embedded distribution, is a top boardroom topic. In the article, I click out to the CAS group, which ran a study, You can read more. Check out the article. AI chatbots now resolve up to 80% of customer service inquiries, 80% of inquiries without human intervention, with customer satisfaction scores increasing as implementation matures. This is from Kayako. Again, link to the source in the article. Consumers are acclimating to AI-powered advice as trustworthy in their digital finance lives, and this is from cfp.net. Again, link to that in the article. Early mover lenders who figure out compliance and content governance will lead the next distribution land grab. The next billion-dollar distribution platform. So I think a platform's going to emerge faster than most people expect, where Finfluencers can launch always-on AI assistants, seemingly integrating with affiliate partners and full-stack compliance engines. Creators focus on building trust in content. The platform takes care of product matching, disclosures, compliance, and payments. Lenders gain access to performance-based customer origination at scale and a channel their competitors may be ignoring. The VCs and operators that power this Finfluencer monetization for the ecosystem at large, I think are going to be drinking Cristal and flying private to the Maldives for their offsites. How fintech lenders should prepare. If you're a fintech lender reading this, here's what I suggest you start doing. 1, diversify your acquisition mix. Don't wait until an algorithm update puts a damper on your volumes. Explore partnerships with top finance creators, both for traditional content and for emerging AI-driven distribution formats. 2, invest in AI-friendly infrastructure. Ensure your tech stack, from onboarding APIs to compliance workflows, can handle third-party digital origination and real-time attribution online, alongside affiliate networks and direct channels. 3, audit and modernize disclosures. The winning platforms will be those that make compliance seamless for all parties. Get ahead by reassessing your TILA and RESPA processes for a world of dynamic, AI-mediated recommendations. 4, give creators skin in the game. Shift media budget from impressions to performance and conversion-based payments, empowering creators to act more like growth partners instead of media channels. 5, pilot, measure, and iterate. Try small, controlled launches with trusted Finfluencers and AI intermediaries. Track lift in originations, CAC, conversion rates, and compliance outcomes. As reasonable as all the above preparations sound, many lenders won't take any action at all, because combining AI with social media will be viewed with skepticism. It will feel like a nightmare from a compliance perspective, and it will feel overwhelming from a partnership perspective, i.e., who's going to go find, sign, and manage all these Finfluencers. But guess what? Lenders were skeptical of internet-sourced applications in the early 2000s. Lenders were skeptical of paid search in the mid-2000s. Lenders weren't sure if consumers would bank on mobile devices when the iPhone shipped in 2007. Lenders weren't sure karma was going anywhere in 2010. Lenders weren't sure social media ads would produce a return in 2012. And the list goes on. By design, lenders are paid to worry and be skeptical. And that makes sense because they manage risk for a living. So you might be skeptical that AI influencers will have any impact on your distribution strategy, and that's okay. But what bets can you place today to keep a pulse on the market so that you can lean in when it starts working? Okay, since I wrote this piece, a couple things, and this is to the commentary, color commentary that wasn't addressed in the newsletter piece. So a couple of things I've heard that I think are really, really kind of good objections here. One is influencers tend not to want to work on a performance basis. So folks I'm talking to that are closer to this than I am are telling me predominantly these Finfluencers want to know what they're going to make. So when they sign a brand, they want a guarantee of, hey, I'm going to post X times in exchange for Y money. And I think the reason they're doing that is, one, that they may not trust that their content is going to convert directly. And 2, I think just the nature of how they operate, just from a cash flow perspective, they may be spending a bunch of time and money on content or media or technology production that makes them want the cash flow up front and guaranteed. So I can think of a bunch of reasons why the influencer is going to prefer that brand marketing or that upfront model. So finding folks, so what's going to enable what I wrote about in the article is a batch of influencers that are actually willing to take some risk and get paid on a conversion basis. Seems like we're not quite there yet. I do think that'll eventually shift, but that's I think a very reasonable, or that's a reason this isn't necessarily going to happen this year or maybe even next year. 2 is I spoke with a CTO, a 20-year CTO that's been very deep in AI for the last 5 years. And his comment was like, look, the tech's just not there. It's not particularly close right now on AI's ability to clone a human in a conversation, in a video. It can get you kind of a very, very subpar version. So you can give it some attributes that it will always model, but the thought that a big influencer is going to clone themselves and be able to carry conversations across a variety of topics that feel natural to their audiences it's far-fetched, at least today. He did say he did think it will get there, but it's unclear how long it's going to take. And then the other objection is if you just kind of look at where consumer lenders are spending money, social is a pretty small percentage of the pool today. And if this is going to be, and if we're going to be running billions of dollars through the channel, there's just a lot of maturing that needs to happen here. So in any case, I think hearing all those objections, my thought on it was like, yep, I hear all those. They all seem reasonable. I do think just I'm betting on this tech, on the wave of AI getting to the point where all this is going to be possible. I think that the time frame is less clear to me. I'm not as close to the weeds as the CTO I spoke with, but on a 3 to 5 year basis, this all feels possible for sure. And if I were a lender, I think I would want to be de-risking outcomes on what if this got huge. I would want more exposure than I think most lenders I talk to have in social for this reason. So those are some thoughts. As far as what I'm personally doing here in this category, I'm curious from a perspective of just kind of my normal business. So today at New Market Growth, I connect lenders to publishers and I help them grow their affiliate marketing program. So that's what I do. That's kind of my bread and butter business today. And I'm very interested in hearing from lenders that want to strike some performance-based deals with influencers. I'd like to be in the business of facilitating some of those deals and transactions. So that's number one. And then two, if you know of influencers with, let's say, medium-sized audiences, anywhere between, let's say, 10,000 and 250,000 followers, somewhere in that ballpark. I'd love to hear from creators in that category that are entertaining performance-based deals and would be willing to work with not just one specific brand, but probably a portfolio of brands that would be connected to you by way of some kind of algorithmic approach, some kind of product that matches your audience member to the right product. So rather than signing a deal with just a brand, it's probably you're signing a deal with, that's bringing your audience access to the best of all the available products. So that I'm interested in doing some matchmaking there and understanding the space a little bit better. Again, just to see if there might be an opportunity here to facilitate building that platform I described in the article that takes these clone social media influencers and then connects them to these really tight, very well oiled monetization engines. I do think that's the future, and I want to start laying the groundwork for, I think, what's coming in the next several years. So if that sounds like something that's up your alley and you'd like to discuss with me, I'd be excited to talk to you about that. So contact me at carlos@newmarketgrowth.com if you find that interesting. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you soon.